good YouTube, and welcome to the house. These prices have me like, Natty, are you okay? Are you okay, Natty? Naturia Beast definitely just ridiculously priced right now. The DT, the market price was like down towards 26. It sold out to the point of 35, which means it further sold out or got listings pulled to the point where people are now listing them at 7777. Hey, that's a nice price. You like my number? You want to buy it? I'm so clever with this listing price. And then $90. Of course, there's cheaper variants, but every single variant across the board is up. We see the ultra rare here near 20. We see the secret rare here near 15, which is better than the ultra rare in my opinion. We see even the gold rare pushing towards 10, and the premium gold as well pushing towards 10, with the next price being 20. What the heck is happening with Naturia Beast? Whenever a YouTuber kind of features and profiles cards multiple times with a very large audience, there's very few of them on market, and when people get excited and then they continue to see something get bought out, they wonder, should I go and grab that right now or not? Don't get me wrong. Never, ever underestimate Naturia Beast. It's an amazing card, but this price is very, very inflated. True Draco has a Rocky Boy that just shuts it off. Then you also have the ability in True Draco to just set any spell or trap that's continuous tribute and just run over Naturia Beast. Even Pendulum Magicians have cards like Purple Poison that can actually help take care of this. So Naturia Beast kind of isn't the powerhouse it used to be, and then you run up into matchups where they could care less about running into Naturia Beast as well, but it does have a lot of really good matchups that it locks down, and when you get the right back row or protection, it's still just a struggle to deal with. So I do understand that this card is amazing, but it's not really like all over the metagame. It doesn't really deserve this price point. Very, very light play / near mint. Just, if it's not near mint, then don't put very, very light play. And we have this cute 7777 again on the DT. So like everywhere it seems to be spiking, it seems to be going out, it seems to continue to get bought out, and there's not really cheap variants anymore. Like, look at these market prices where they are at versus their prices. It's actually just insane. But again, never underestimate this card either. It's kind of a weird mix of a very, very good card now getting recognized. Where do you guys think the price should land at? Do you think this is just super hyped considering how little it's appearing in Top Cut, or do you think it is deserved? In today's weirdest buyouts, Toon Sorcerer. Yes, this was a card that got several reprints. We got Yugi's World as well as the super rare, but it actually made its launch in Dark Beginnings of all set, which is what originally made it very, very expensive. It's not the best card in the world, all things considered, because it gets Summoning Sickness. This card cannot attack during the turn it's normal flipped or special summon, so you kind of have to like protect it for a turn to get its effects off. It's never just been really good in general, but it is a spellcaster for, I guess, if you're playing Spellbook Knowledge alongside the Toon engine rather than wanting to play Cyber Dragon. That's the best use I can think for this man's, and we see him at $6 rising versus his market price for even the super. We actually see the DB common heading way up, and then we see over here the rare even heading up past $6. Pretty crazy stuff. I don't really know that it would be used over Toon Cyber Dragon, and I don't get why it's headed this way, but there's just so few quantities, and it's been a while since it has been printed, so it's seen really hype prices in the past, but I don't think that it actually translates to play. And we do see one from Canada, which are always the ones that are left over from a buyout because people are trying to flip their money and get their money back. So we do see one from Canada being the cheapest. We see a $5 option before it gets to more Canadian ones, and then those prices we're seeing on TCG Player as well with a very low quantity. It's weird out here, man. I could understand it though with Spellbook and Knowledge perhaps being the intention and just playing one. I could kind of understand that end game with it. But I still like Toon Cyber Dragon way, way more. Shaddoll Fusion is currently mid-buyout, it would seem. On TCG Player, it's way above its market price in both places, with the lowest near mint being 19 and 21 versus their market prices. So basically a 25% jump up. There is Shaddoll hype with the upcoming ban list because the OCG got their construct back, which is why it's up as well. On eBay, however, it's not quite following despite the very, very low quantities. There's only 10 mega packs, yet it's still sitting at 15, 16 lowest. People want to sell theirs, and then 7 DUEA. So yes, very low quantities, but the prices aren't necessarily following on eBay yet, but it does feel very mid-buyout. So if you want to get yours, you might want to now. You never know what's going to drop in Battles of Legend. They added 5 more cards to the set, making it 105 cards. It makes this call of investing so hard because you never know what can drop in Battles of Legend. It's just a bomb on the horizon. Pot of Duality Ultimate Rare. Out of all the True Draco buyout card targets, this is a decent one. Now, there are budget versions of Pot of Duality everywhere. There are different holo versions, but the Ultimate by far looks the nicest, seems the nicest, and we see it sitting up at 58. I think when Pot of Desires actually got bought out, I think I remember featuring this around 40, and its market price indicates near that as well. Boys, it's headed on up. 58 lowest from Canada as well, but it's pretty much matching the US price at 58.45 and hanging in around there. Pretty crazy, low quantities. The True Draco player is always interested in hollowing out their deck, and should True Dracos fail, it's not the worst thing to have to, you know, sell later. It might crash back down towards its market price of 40, but there's other decks definitely that can use Pot of Duality, maybe not forcing their way up to the top tier in the meta, but stun decks have always enjoyed it. So I know a lot of you stun players in my audience might be happy seeing this news, or like, I was saving up for this. Let me know in the comments below. I think stun players actually usually keep their deck forever, so they slowly hollow it out, I feel like. But some of them are the most budget players also. On Buyouts, Maxi, this was actually a while ago. During my drunk market watch, I was like, there's ultimate rare buyouts everywhere, because there were multiple during the week. I had forgotten to feature this. Ban list predictions, people think that this might come back into full force, and so you see it had fallen down towards the 60 range, and now it's back towards the 96. People are just holding the line together. On eBay, 90 before 100. You see this is a new listing as well. People realistically would love to sell this at these prices, but they're not going to begin moving again, in my opinion, unless something happens with the ban list. One of the most expensive ban cards ever, if not the most expensive. It's pretty crazy. The first had Chaos Emperor Dragon's the only one in my mind that could maybe rival this price-wise, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But I could be wrong. I haven't looked that up in a while, too. I'll do that after Market Watch. But Maxi Ulti, in my opinion, it's risky. You got a ban list coming. There could be huge payoff, and if you have it currently listed at these prices, if a ban list hit and did bring it back, you want to jack up that price towards 120. Like, so having it listed, if you're investing in it, is kind of, you know, going the wrong way with your investment. You kind of maybe bought it and are like, well, I'll take this price if it happens, and just convincing yourself of that. But I would honestly hold mine if I was investing like that. So it's kind of like just playing the market. Maybe you want your money back. Maybe you need your turnover. But if I'm truly investing, I think I would be keeping them if I had participated. Now, some older cards that maybe you guys don't know is how I want to wrap up this market watch. The GB1 secret rare god cards. There are fakes of the GB1 cards, so you want to be careful, but these are pretty much the considered highest rarity of the god cards that are more for the anime, not the playable ones. And they're pretty much sold out on TCG Player. I believe Raw is the only one that has a single price, and they're all kind of pushing past their market price slowly. We see Raw has one at $55 here, and Limitless Games, hey, shoutouts to Jason Holloway being up here with a moderate play, but you realistically want a collector card to be mint as it goes forward through time and it raises up. These are kind of those smart long-term investments if you're looking to like trade your cards into other cards, and you're not great with cash, but you're great on holding on to cards. That's a lot of people, surprisingly. We see the GB1 Obelisk actually lowest 49 near mint before it's like 68 from Canada and then 72. too. The GB1 Secret is actually near mint at 49, and it's like its only copy near mint. And there are no Slifers on eBay at all. So basically none near mint on market for him. There is an Obelisk before it gets super expensive, and then Slifer has always kind of been the cheapest, but it's not necessarily the, or Winged Dragon of Ra has always been the cheapest, but it's not necessarily the easiest to get always. As you see, there's only 2 quantities here as well. So if you've been considering these for a while, eyeing them for a while, I would go ahead and consider getting them, but be aware that there's fakes. There's also the GB Ultras, which are not fakes and are cheaper variants of these, but the secret rare is much, much more desirable. And there's different secrets as well. There's, if we go to the Winged Dragon of Ra, let me show you. There's like a DOD version of him, I believe, in secret rarity. There's so many different kinds of higher end god cards. Like, yeah, you see the market price is 18 instead of 40, despite, you know, this one selling out. It's just collector cards that you guys want to consider. And somebody actually brought it up in the comment section of my other market watch, like, hey, you might want to talk about these. I see people with these in 10s that are still coming new to locals that don't know what they have. So maybe you guys even have this, and in my opinion, consider holding on to it for now. But thanks for watching. What do you guys think of the weirder buyouts this weekend? Like, DT Naturia Beast continuing to strive forward towards a ridiculous price point. Toon Sorcerer, what's happening here? And I do want to give a special thank you to everyone who's been tuning into the live streams and made it in the video this far. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. We actually had a sale on Amazon, so we hit both the microphones and all 3 monitors. I was like 4 short of the goal. I'm gladly going to fill that myself. And so we have the downstairs setup slowly getting set up. We might have the return of tabletop with past formats here as we continue that setup with maybe E-Dragons, Goats, Chaos decks. Like, what do you guys think of seeing some past format play with in real life tabletop duels once again on the channel? Let me know in the comment section down below, because you guys have been awesome. I want to find ways to kind of like give back to you guys in content form. I've really been getting more excited about the channel, and actually wasn't going to do a market watch today till I saw how much was going on.